What up? Your boy MC Shadow. Now, like, people ask, we're having a conversation. They ask, what do I think is the reason for all these protests and for all this chaos that's going on? Like, why is there so much diversity and like tensions and stuff like that? The thing is that, um, like, for example, like right now, right? How people are marching and how the Democrats are behaving. It's kind of like if we're moving into like a state of like collectivism. Uh, those people should know what collectivism is. It's not like socialism or communism, um, but it's somewhat like that. You know what I mean? Some people think that collectivism is the answer, but it's not the answer. As a matter of fact, collectivism was used by Hitler, Mao, Pow Pow, Stalin. All of those dictators. You know what I mean? That was a form of collectivism. You know what I'm saying? So that is not the answer. You know what I mean? Because a government needs people. Without people, there is no government. You know what I'm saying? Like, the government doesn't even have power. Because if the government tells us to do something and the people refuse, then they have no power. They can't force you to do, like nothing. Like, let's say if they told the military and the military refused to, and everyone just didn't do what they said, then they have no power. What are they going to do? They have no power. Every individual has their own power, right? Like you're your own person, so no one should tell you how to live your life or what to think or be able to what to say and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why people meddle into other people's business and thinking that you have the answer is the reason why there's so many problems. You know what I mean? Because if you tell people like, oh look, this person's stupid for thinking that way, and let's gather up, and let's say if nobody decided to rally up behind you, then like you pretty much can't do nothing, and nothing is like there. It just dies out. You know. But if the people round up against you, and now it's like a mob, versus one, and then now people see it like, okay, he's being ganged against, and then the other people don't see from your point of view, then it's two mobs now clashing against each other. You see what I mean? But if that person would have just mind his own business, this wouldn't be happening. So the reason why people meddle into other people's business is what creates problems in this world. Let's say if you have somebody that thinks stupid and says stupid stuff, like how you guys see those videos online. We have a guy at 7-Eleven saying a bunch of racist stuff. If people were just to ignore him and just let him say what he said, whatever, nothing will get blown out of proportion. All these people wouldn't be rallying up, and people were defending this person or attacking this person. The drama would just die out. But everybody with their opinion fuels the fire. And just because you think everyone should think in the world like you. Now, I'm not saying that other person is right for thinking that way, but you're not making the situation better. You're making it worse. You know what I mean? Because more than not, individuals won't think like that. You know what I mean? But if you start creating the problems, whatever, it's so easy to lead to manipulation. You know what I mean? So then the problem really does blow out of proportion. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that is the biggest flaw in collectivism. You know what I mean? And in socialism as well. And all these other forms, because even like right now, the Democrats, like how they're rallying up everybody, like, no, you can't say this, no, you can't think that, you'll be banned from this, you could get fired if you think that. We have rights here. You're allowed to think and say whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? It's your life. You're a human being. You should be able to think the way you want and be the way you want without having to have someone controlling what you think or say. You know what I mean? Even if he is a piece of shit that thinks, stupidly, I mean, what does it matter? They're just words at the end. You know what I mean? You just brush them off. You know what I mean? They won't take action unless you start fueling the fire. Then they take action. Then this shit ends up the way it does. But see, people fear, and that's a lot of things. People use fear as a tactic. Like, no, we must put a stop to this, because if not, this could happen. Like, yeah, but there's a chance. The same chance that there's the same chance that it's not. But what, to play it safe? To play it safe is the reason why everything keeps blowing up. You know what I mean? The thing is that people don't want to struggle in this world, and don't want to have no bridges in their way. But that is the way life is. It makes you stronger, wiser, sharper. We have to have battles. Even everybody, even animals, when they go out in the wild on their own, that is just the way things are. But no, people just want everything, rainbows and marshmallows and stuff like that. The world will never be like that. You know what I mean? And what's been proven is that when people don't have any struggles or no battles in their life, it's actually worse. They end up becoming worse, the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? Also the ones that commit suicide, shootings, murders, and all of that. You know what I mean? Because they feel like the world is crumbling, because they just never had nothing in their way that is just, that they feel like they have no other option. Also why they become drug addicts, alcoholics, and everything like that. So I think if people just mind it their own, you know what I mean, and not worrying about like what people say or do or whatever, you know what I mean? That's where that saying comes from, sticks and stones, come on, break your bones. You know what I mean? But no, instead people want to, but that's only because people react to it, like if somebody is making fun of somebody, but if everybody else around them is reacting to it, then you are to blame for what happens, not the individuals that's actually even starting the action. You know what I mean? He was just the match. You were the gasoline. You know what I mean? But that's just how I see it. That's just my point of view on why I think, because the Democrats and all these people, they think that what they're doing is a good thing, that getting people fired just because they said something, and like tracking them down through social media to get their address, and that is not justice what you're doing. You are no better than the other group in what they do. When they torment people and stalk them and harass them and take their rights to think and say whatever the hell that they want. Just the very same things that people say that they took from them or that they didn't have and stuff like that. But the reason they don't see it the same way is because of what their thoughts and what they said is, because those are bad thoughts while yours are good. But at the end of the day, it's both the same thing. You know what I mean? At the end, what you're trying to do to ruin that person's life. How's that gonna fix the scenario? Or how's that gonna make everything better? Or how's that gonna make you better? You know what I mean? I don't know. There's nothing good about that. You know what I'm saying? Another person's life crashing before their very, self. It cheers you up. It's kind of like eye raising. Like is you shouldn't be. That shouldn't make you feel better. You know what I mean? It says a lot about your character, so you're not as good as you think that you are. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. MC Shadow, we out.